नमस्ते प्रणाम गीता ध्यानम। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्तधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। O Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Partha, the ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O Goddess, showerer of the nectar-like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 80 chapters, O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishna Vandana. वसुदेव सुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. Son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the 14th Adhyaya of Traya Vibhag Yoga, and Sri Krishna. Just now he has told us how a person behaves when the Sattva Guna is predominant in that person. That person exhibits all the purity, all the knowledge, all the brilliance, all the enlightenment through all the gateways of this body. The Sarvadvareshu Dehesmin Prakasha Upajayate. All the gateways of this body, all the sense organs, they start emitting the enlightenment that is glowing in the person. And Jnanam Yada Tada Vidyat Vivṛddham Sattvam. And when the knowledge starts shining from that person as it is, everything that the person does, he or she, it is filled with knowledge. It is filled with that divine eternal knowledge. Then know for sure that is the ascendance, dominance of the Sattva Guna. So that was the 11th Shloka. And today in this 12th Shloka, Sri Krishna is going to tell about the Rajaguna. How a person in whom this Rajas is predominant, how that person behaves. And listening to these words of Sri Krishna, we can actually correlate how people who are there in our life, they are exhibiting these gunas, through their day-to-day activities. The moment we find a person with predominant sattva, we know that, yes, it is all purity which is spreading from that person to the outside world. Through all the gateways, it is all the enlightenment, it is all the divine illumination which is spreading around. Full of knowledge, full of bliss, full of compassion. And what about the Rajas? So see here in the 12th Shloka of Sri Krishna is telling about lobhaḥ pravṛttirārambhaḥ karmaṇāmaśamaḥ spṛhā rajasyetāni jāyante vivṛddhe bharatarṣabha. O best among the Bharatas, bharatarṣabha, O best among the Bharatas. Now, best among the Bharatas is normally the descendants of this Bharata clan. They are all so very active. They are all active in doing their swadharma, and therefore Sri Krishna is addressing Arjuna as best among the Bharatas when he is mentioning about the qualities exhibited by a person with predominant rajas. Lobhaḥ pravṛttirārambhaḥ karmaṇāmaśamaḥ. Lobha is greed. That greed, that longing to possess something. If I don't have anything, I feel greedy to have that. Lobha. And pravṛttirārambhaḥ karmaṇāmaśamaḥ. that attitude of initiating the works, initiating some activity, that attitude. This person is not a dullard. He is not dull. He is not lazy. He wants to do something, and that initiative is always there. I must do something. pravṛttirārambhaḥ karmaṇāmaśamaḥ spṛhā. Ashamaḥ is longing, unrest. If I don't have anything, I become restless. If I don't have anything, I become so, a kind of unrest sets into me. That ashamaḥ and spṛhā, the intense desire to possess something. These are the qualities which are exhibited. Rajasyetāni jāyante, vivṛddhe, bharatarṣabha. Oh, bharatarṣabha, oh, best among the Bharatas. This is how these qualities, they arise when the rajas is predominant. So, the moment we see a person who is very keen to start some activity, who is greedy about things he is not possessing, he or she, and who is restless to do something, to have something, and who exhibits intense desire, that's spṛhā, intense desire to have something, intense desire to retain something which is already there, no other thought in the mind. So the moment these arise in a person, the greed, the initiative of doing an activity, undertaking of actions, the restlessness, and the longing for things. When these arise, O best of the Bharatas, know for sure that it is the rajas which is predominant. As simple as that. Whenever we see a person who is very anxious to do something, something must be done. He can't sit idle. He can't be lazy. He can't procrastinate. So that kind of person starts exhibiting these qualities when the rajas is in dominance, when the rajas is predominant. Attempt at making the property of others one's own is greed. What others possess, I do not possess. So I must snatch it away from them. That is greed. It is not that I should create my own things, but snatching the things from other person is greed. And this greed is generated, it takes birth out of rajas. Officiously engaging oneself in matters not one's own is what is meant by activity here. Now this person, he may not be having anything to do with through that activity for himself or herself, but jumps in doing something, meddling in others' activities. Okay, that fellow is doing, let me start. I will see how that fellow does it. Let me get into that activity which he or she is doing, and let me show my caliber, let me show my skill, let me show what I can do. So, meddling in the activities which are not one's own, that is what it is said here, pravṛttirārambhaḥ and karmaṇāmaśamaḥ. That getting into the activities of other people, meddling with the activities of other people, that is the quality of tamas, rajas. That is the quality of indication of tamas. Increasing one's activities unnecessarily. This is a very crucial point for rajas to when it gets predominant. Unnecessarily. There is no need to meddle in others' activities. There is no need to start any new activities also for that matter. But that restlessness, that heed for doing something, that urge, that longing, that desire, that spṛhā of doing something automatically makes one get into that kind of action. Increasing one's activities unnecessarily and out of proportion. It is not the way of the wise. The wise will never take up the activities which for which they don't have skill for that. They don't have intelligence to do that. But when rajas is predominant, I don't think whether I can do it or not, whether I'm capable of doing it or not, I don't pay any heed to it. Then I just take it up. In the end, what happens? Neither the activity gets fulfilled, nor I get the result out of it. And I'm wasting all my efforts on performing that useless activity, which is useless for me. Any little success in new undertaking brings in elation, and any little setback in another undertaking brings dejection. And this is what happens with the people who have a predominant rajas. A little success will inflate their egos. They are so elated with little success, and if there is a little failure, gone. Even with little failure, forget about a massive failure. Even with little failure, they get in that mode of dejection. They get in that mode of the frustration. All the world starts looking like a mad place for them. Everything is gone. Dejection sets in, frustration sets in with even a little failure. A little success, their egos get bloated. With little failure, they are in doldrums. Oscillation of the mind in these ways is called unrest. And this is the kind of unrest. This is the kind of that ashamaha that Sri Krishna is telling. But there is absolutely restlessness in the person. A little good, going gaga over it. A little bad, crying pitifully. So that kind of unrest is exhibited by the person with predominant rajas. A prosperous undertaking of a neighbor goads a greedy man into a similar venture. So this is what happens. I look at others and they are getting so much good money out of that venture. Now, whether I have the skill for doing that in which they have attained success, I don't think about it. I just start doing it. If I am successful, well and good. Then I'm in the seventh heaven for that matter. But if I get failure, the whole world comes crushing down for me then. Then that unrest sets in. Then that unrest gets exhibited. So getting motivated by what others are doing without knowing my capabilities, doing those things. So that is also an indication of the predominant rajas. His impatience to have it done immediately is known as longing. And this is that impatience, that the striving to do something, that intense desire, that spṛhā, that is exhibited in a person with predominant rajas. The intense desire to do something, that's it. Whether I am capable of doing it or not is immaterial. That fellow, he did it in that manner, he got a success, so let me also try. I am also going to try. It is not let me. I am also going to try, and I will just jump in doing that activity. And then, by chance, if I see a little success, I am the king, I am the boss, I am the most successful person on this earth, even if it is a very minuscule success. And if it is a minuscule failure, I am all gone. I am the most frustrated, devastated person on this earth, in this entire universe. So that is how the person with predominant rajas is exhibiting through his personality. And we can see such people. We can see the people with predominant sattva, that Sri Krishna explained in the 11th shloka. We can also see people around us with predominant sattva who are restless to do something. I must do this, I must do this. So that kind of, and in doing that, getting that restlessness, extreme joy, extreme sadness, extreme elation, or extreme dejection, that that restlessness sets in, and it is evident in those personalities with predominant rajas. So that is the 12th shloka of this 14th adhyaya, the Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga. In next shlok that we will read, we will see how people with the predominant tamas they behave. That also Sri Krishna is going to tell us in our next reading of the 13th shloka. As of now, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ram Krishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Ma. Jai Swamiji.